Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are so glad to have everyone here today for our career connections. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. So to kick this off, welcome as more people come in. I'm just going to start by introducing myself and a little bit about the Women's Resource Center before I turn it over to Marina, who is an HR recruiter with Sarasota County. She'll be able to tell us about the job opportunities and application process and benefits of working for Sarasota County. And I know it's going to be a wonderful and impactful presentation. So my name is Molly Saunders, and I am the Client Services Coordinator here at the Women's Resource Center. We are excited to offer this monthly webinar series where a local hiring agency or career-related organization training program can come and share more about the opportunities available in our local community. But a bit about the Women's Resource Center. We have been providing programming in Manatee and Sarasota counties since 1979. We offer programs at low or little cost for a wide range of topics and needs, including resource advising to help people connect with the various organizations that they might use in the community, mental health counseling on a sliding scale, career services, including webinars like this one, our career closets, which are located at all three of our locations, Bradenton, Sarasota, and Venice, where people can access free clothing for interviews or any other work needs. We also have educational workshops, programs, and a scholarship program. Scholarship applications just opened on Monday, and we're very excited to see everyone's applications as we go into that scholarship season. And then we offer legal, financial consultation, as well as computer tutoring and assistance with developing your technology skills. So specifically for the people attending this workshop, you may be interested in our career programs. We have a one-on-one free career coaching program where you can talk about your goals, do practice interviews, and have assistance support writing your resume and with the job search process. We also, as I mentioned, have the career closet and workshops like this one. So we hope that you are able to take advantage of these free resources through the Women's Resource Center. So the way this webinar is going to work is that when I'll turn it over to Marina, she'll give her presentation, and you are able to input any questions you might have into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. At the end, we will answer your questions, discuss everything, and then when the webinar ends and I close it, please stay in your browser because it'll automatically redirect you to a short survey. And we love to hear your feedback, your thoughts to help both our presenters and the Women's Resource Center as we develop our programs further. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Marina. She is an HR recruiter with Sarasota County, and I am so excited to hear about the wonderful career opportunities in Sarasota with the county. So Marina, take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Marina Bahina. As she mentioned earlier, I am one of the recruiters at Sarasota County government, and we own a total of a couple of departments. I own about 6 of those departments, but I would love to take this time to be able to connect with you guys and share a little bit about what Sarasota County government is about, the different types of jobs we have, as well as a little sneak peek on how to go through our website. So thank you so much for joining today and giving me this opportunity. So a little bit about what we're going to learn. Again, if you're ready to work and learn, there's a place for you with the county. It's really great because we have a lot of entry-level positions. We have various skilled trades roles if you're interested in going into the trades field with a lot of growth opportunities. So why work at Sarasota County government? So our purpose is providing essential services to keep the community safe, healthy, and running smoothly while preserving and sustaining our natural resources and community. the growth opportunities here are you learn new skills. We to develop, build a career. We have a very big, diverse workforce, and a lot of them have been with the county a very long time and are getting to retire as well, so, which tells you that this can be a lifetime career. So if you like leaving things better than you found them, we serve the greater good. So our team is here to make sure that Sarasota County remains the premier community to live, work, and play. So launch your county career. So how can you start your path to success? Again, we're hiring people, not perfect resumes. Transferable skills do count. So if you have customer service related experience, if you're reliable, if you're great with teamwork, we need all kinds of talent. We need office, field, community facing. We are a little bit of everything. We are very much mission driven with a focus on community impact. And we need you to help create this wonderful experience for our residents and vacationing guests enjoying Sarasota County. So you definitely want to apply today. So I did mention a little bit about our departments. We have 19 departments, and each of these departments is pretty much a self-run business. They are funded on their own. So they have the very specific, like, for example, our Breeze Transit is the bus operator. So it's those Breeze transportation buses that you see. We not only need those Breeze operating buses, but we also need the administrative side that manages that whole department. So that includes using accounting, front desk administrators, to mechanics, to the Breeze operators, to the training. It's a very wide range of people. And that goes for almost every one of our departments. So career paths, just, pick your lane or move around. So again, like I mentioned, we have administrative and office support. We have customer service, front desk, parks, recreation, community, operations, logistics, transit, and public-facing roles, as well as skilled trades and lots of maintenance roles, and many, many more. It is such a loaded question when I have candidates come up and ask me, what do we have? I'm like, I have a little bit of everything. So discover your potential at Sarasota County. Your skills are transferable. Choose your path, learn on the job, and grow from entry level to leadership while making a meaningful difference in the community. So what are some of the benefits? Because, we want to know the benefits too. So we do provide a very robust and healthy benefits packet. As a full-time employee, and most of our roles are full-time employees, you get medical, dental, vision, healthcare, and you get short-term, long-term disability, flexible spending accounts, including our FRS. Our FRS is the Florida State Pension Plan. You get so much to help build for your future now and for your future. So we do have additional perks that come along with this, with being a county employee, is we are very passionate about continuing the education of our team. So if you're wanting to go back to school, if you want to learn more, get different credentials, learn about a certain field, again, it is a little bit based on each department because each department is self-run and they have to fund it. And you do get 100% reimbursement for A's. And we are very passionate about you guys continuing your education and growing. And one of the really cool part is being a county employee is you get free, you get to ride the Breeze buses for free, as well as many, many more discounts and perks and attractions. And you have really great life work balance. So based on hire date, and you can earn up to 30 paid days off within your first year. That's a very generous package. That's about within a year, so that's going like January to December. It's about 11 paid holidays, 3 personal days off, as well as around 16 vacation days, pending when you start and all that. But it can be a potential of 30 days off. So how to apply. I did include this really handy dandy QR barcode or our website at scgov.net/jobs. And when you go there, we're going to go over that in a few minutes, a little bit how to maneuver and how to read that platform. It's very user friendly. So how to use our website. So when you go into our website, couple little things I want to highlight. So right over here is our search bar engine. And our search bar is so user friendly. It's really easy. And I'll show you in a minute how easy it can be. And then you'll be able to see all our positions, all of them. If you don't put any filter on, you can view all the positions. If you're going through all this and you're not sure which position you want to apply to, you can do an introduce yourself. So you're in our system, and then you can also set up job alerts. Because just because we don't have it right now doesn't mean we won't have it later. We are continuously hiring and we are continuously growing. And then once you've created a profile, on the top right corner, you'll be able to see the little sign in. So when you sign in, you can see the status of all your jobs that you applied to and where they're at. So navigating our site, again, like let's say if we type in admin, I didn't even write the full word. I didn't write administration, I type in admin. And with that search engine, we already got 58 results that are related to administrative type of work. And then you can look through and see which ones you are more interested in. So once you've found a position that you're interested in, you can just hit apply. It will have you create an account. You want to make sure, set your best foot forward, attach a resume. You want to be even more impressive, attach a cover letter. You specifically for that role, because you want to set your best foot forward. Couple of little fun things to notate about that. In each job, it's very different, very unique, but each role does tell you about it. So you'll be able to see the location, the primary work location. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see about the job, what that job will entail, what responsibilities, what duties you will do in that job, as well as the projected hours. Some hours are very straightforward, Monday through Friday work times, and then some roles do require some weekend work as well as holidays, because you are still, like for example in parks, it is still open to the community. When you also go scroll down a little bit more, you'll be able to see a thing that's called a minimum qualifications in the About You section. This is very important. So you do have to meet those minimum qualifications for that role in order for us to consider you for that role. If you don't meet those minimum qualifications, a manager will not be interviewing or reviewing your application for that role. So it's very important that you look at those minimum qualifications to see if you fall in line. And quite often you'll find as well sometimes preferred qualifications. Those are just bonuses. They're not minimum qualification. That does not disqualify you just because you don't own that whatever skill or that certification that they're requesting. And then we are very transparent with our roles. So we will tell you about the pay, what that position pays, or the pay range, or the starting pay, if there's flexibility. And if you scroll a bit more down, you'll be able to see, like for example, the required documents for this employment, for this role, if you're hired. And if you continue going down, you can learn more about the community and the county, as well as our benefit packages, again, if you wanted to do a little bit more research. So what are we trying to do? We're going to try to find a job on the career site. You want to create a profile. You want to set up a job alert if you're not finding the role right now that you're looking for. But then if you set up a job alert, it will remind you and let you know whenever that position does open up. So you can be the first one to apply and get there a lot faster, because our positions, we don't have a set time necessarily. Most positions, not necessarily a set time of how long we keep it open, but we will close it once we find the perfect candidate. So you want to make sure you are the perfect candidate and seen by the manager. You want to upload your resume. If you want to even be that special gem, upload a cover letter as well, specifically for that role and why you're such a great fit for that role. You definitely want to fill out that questionnaire. And then once you submit, you can track your status. When you sign in on the top right corner, you can see where your status is at, if it's been reviewed, if it's still in the review process, maybe if they're where it's at, so if you have any questions or concerns. So I know I covered a lot of good topic, and hopefully I haven't confused anybody. Do we have any questions? And while we're answering or asking any questions, I do want to point out special all of our different connections. Please, if you're interested in just looking, reviewing, set up a job alert, introduce yourself at scgov.net/jobs, as well as connecting with us on our many platforms.
So it sounds like if people want to apply, that's the place to start, right? The scgov.net/jobs.
Correct.
Um,
Correct.
would you mind, Marina, going back to the screen that shows the list of the departments? So I feel like
Sure.
people are going to want to think about how they might fit in these departments. Um, I think, for example, and I want to, I'm letting people take their time if they want to put anything in the Q&A box. But a question that came to mind for me is if I know I want to work in the parks, or if I know I want to work in the
Mhm.
libraries, I can set up a job alert so I get emailed when jobs open in those departments.
Correct. So let's say you want to be a librarian. To be a librarian, you do have to have a master's of librarian and science degree. So that's the minimum requirement for a librarian. That's very niche specific. But we do have library assistants. We do also have customer service at when you come into a library, there's a front desk who sits there. That's a very entry level role. And it's very specific to the library. So like, for example, Betty J. Johnson library, the Fruitville library. So if you are say in the Fruitville area and you want to work in the library, well, then you can set up a job alert for the libraries department as a customer service representative for Betty J. Johnson or Fruitville. And then once that position opens up, it will send you an email and let you know that it's opening. And for those roles specifically, I do want to highlight, they are very popular. So we get a lot of candidates. So we quite often close those roles a lot faster. So you want to be the first one on scene.
Mm-hmm.
And you can manually go to our website and look through and breeze through all the positions. But why do so when you can set up a job alert and let technology work for you? So and then for very niche specific, like parks, right? Parks. What is parks? Well, we have the administrative county business side that manages the parks, manages the budgets, the very all that analytical, and then we have those who manage the parks. And there's different types, including the beaches. There is coordinators. There we even have, like, for over the summertime, some of our parks we do summer camp where they host kids, and we take on camp counselors, and you get to do all these fun events during the summer with these kids. So that's being part of a coordinator. So there's so many exciting opportunities. I encourage you to look at that job place multiple times. And one of the best way to, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to contact me. But again, I'm very specific in which roles and departments I usually cover, and I know enough to be dangerous about most roles too. But so that way you're not necessarily like, who do I contact? The best email to email is askhr@scgov.net, and they can help answer if you have any additional questions.
So we have a question that came in from Pamela. She says, I'm going to be 74 this year. I'm still in an online master's program at university. I only want a part-time job at this time. How do I even get in the door at my age? So I think she's getting at a question about part-time positions,
Mm-hmm.
and then also about the age aspect.
Yeah. So when you go to our website, it kind of right next to location, it has the time, and you can select part-time. We don't have a lot of part-time roles because most of our roles are full-time positions, but we do have a few part-time that come up every once in a while. So you can always set up that part-time position, and then the link, it will filter just part-time roles. And if you're not seeing one right now, set up a job alert and it will let you know. But quite often our part-time roles can be like a beach attendant, a library customer service, library assistant, not a librarian, the assistant, the front end. We do those ones sometimes come up as part-time roles. So we have a few, but not a lot that are part-time roles.
I would imagine you have some seasonal roles too, with, like you mentioned, with
Correct.
summer camps and.
Correct. So like in for the summertime, we're gonna start posting in about March. We're gonna start posting for our camp counselors. And that is only during the summertime break. And it is a full time during that summer break, but it's about 2 months or so. Don't quote me on it. I don't know the exact dates yet. But it's really great time because you get to help manage these kids and you get to do all these activities and then you go on like field trips with them. It's really exciting. It's really fun. So, especially if you like working with kids, and we're always looking for camp counselors. And sometimes we also have positions for camp counselor supervisors. So if you're a little bit like usually like if it's a teacher because you have experience working with these kids, we might hire you as a part-time, well, temporary, apologies, not part-time, temporary camp, as well as, for example, over the summertime we have a very robust internship program. So our internship positions are already posted and they are all various. They are very role specific. So if you want to say you want to be an engineer, then you'll find the internship for an engineer. If you want to be a librarian, you'll find an internship for that librarian. It's very role specific. We're hiring for the summertime and they are paid internships over the summertime break. And then every once in a while, you'll see temporary positions that will come up as well. So you can also set up that job alert if you're just looking for a temporary position, and then you can review it. Again, just make sure you look at the minimum qualifications because you do have to meet those minimum qualifications for that role.
So follow up for Pamela. She says that she's a retired registered nurse with 40 years of nursing experience, but doesn't want to work in that field any longer. But she has customer service experience as well. While there aren't, Sarasota County does not run the hospitals. That's a separate organization. But I imagine there would be transferable roles that are customer service related.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead.
So one of the better roles, usually people who have customer service background, a really good one is we own the 311 call center. So that's a call center whenever that does open up positions. That's a very good transferable skill. We also have like again the library where you work as a customer service representative at the libraries. That's also a customer facing skill that you might be more interested in as well.
Yes, and so Pamela, just to follow up, the hospital system, like Sarasota Memorial Hospital, is separate from Sarasota County government. But if you have further questions about hospital jobs, that would be Sarasota Memorial Hospital. So I'm going to go to a different question. Kathleen asks if there's a referral process. So she says if we should refer a client that we've pre-screened for employment readiness and referred them to the application. I'm assuming that's coming from a place like Career Source or like one of the job readiness programs.
We don't have a referral program in place, but we do work closely with other like Career Source as well. And they email us quite often whenever they find a candidate that they're like, this is a really good one, can you help me brainstorm and find, or sometimes they'll send us a resume. Quite often we'll put our thinking caps together and reach out to some managers and try to put a resume in front of that manager to see if that's a candidate, or suggest a certain role that we're like, hey, they might be a good fit for this role, to go ahead and apply. So we do that as well. And please, again, either email myself, and I'll probably put in my contact information in the chat, as well as the askhr@scgov.net. That is when in doubt, email them, because what they do is they will send it to the right person. So if you don't remember my email address, just email them for sure, and they will. If it's within my departments, they'll email it to me. If it's within another recruiter's departments, they'll email it to that recruiter.
Awesome. Thank you. Jamie wrote, do you have remote work? They're applying for disability and it's hard to get out, but I still want to work in some way.
So none of our roles are 100% completely remote. We do hybrid, but you have to pass your 6-month probation period. Then it also depends on which role it is. For example, parks is 100% on site because it's a very local location. You can't service a park remotely, unfortunately. Um, if you're working in like in a community center versus like my role, I'm a recruiter. I have that option of hybrid because I can do some of my work just online, but I am also, again, I do a lot of in persons. I go to job fairs, I go to events, I go to talk, I go visit my managers all the time. So it's a lot of moving around as well. So it depends on which role. There is no 100% remote, and we do allow some roles allow hybrid.
That makes sense. And I'm sure it's hard to say with such a variety of roles as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Kathleen followed up with saying she's with Goodwill Job Connection, but I assume that still stands. Like she should email the Ask HR at SCGov in order to
Yes,
get more
yes.
specific info.
And I know we worked with Goodwill before as well. We haven't as been as close with Goodwill as we are with Career Source. We work with them a lot more often, but definitely Goodwill. Please send me an email. And I would love to be able to connect so we can also brainstorm of potentially job fairs, events, how we can help each other because we love coming out and letting the community know and that we're here to serve them, and b, of all the amazing job opportunities that we have available for the community and for people. And it's wide range, such a wide range, from very skilled to entry level to in on the field to behind a desk, a little bit of everything.
Amazing. So please, anyone who wants to add questions, Karen is asking if you have an internship for medical billing and coding.
We do not, because that would be more Sarasota County SMH, Memorial Hospital. So we don't do medical. We're not a hospital, and we don't do any, like we're not a hotel, or we're not a retail. We're not a manufacturing industries. We are a local government community, but we are a little bit of everything except for those roles. But again, a lot of these are transferable. So for example, for medical, we do self-insure ourselves, our employees, which means in our part of our HR team, we have a benefits team that does the medical for us, research medical, everything medical, billing, kind of, sort of. We work with Aetna, that's who our medical provider is. Those skills are transferable whenever it opens up. I don't have any openings in that area specifically right now, but if ever it does, that's when you set up a job alert. So when it does open up, you're going to be the first to know.
Awesome. Thank you. So I thought of a question, which is, so after the person applies for the job, is there an interview process or something that what you can tell about, like what the next steps might be?
Sure. So again, remember the minimum qualifications, you do have to meet that. So once you meet the minimum qualifications, then the manager will review your application. So our managers can only see that position that they own. Me as a recruiter, I can see everybody. But that manager can't see. So if you apply to multiple roles, they won't see it. So if you want to be in front of a manager and for a specific role, you have to apply to that role specifically, meet the minimum qualifications. That's very important. And then the manager will review. And sometimes that's where we customize it to how the manager likes to proceed with that process. So sometimes we'll do phone screens ahead of time. Sometimes it'll be directly into an in-person interview. We do sometimes, some managers will allow a virtual interview, especially for those that are not local candidates, because we do have a good amount of people that also move into the state/city. And we do that virtual option as well. And then after they do the interview, so it depends on which roles, we'll determine if it's one interview, more for entry level, and then sometimes it can be in front of a panel. Sometimes it can be just that hiring manager. If it's like, for example, a manager role, those will be about 3 interviews. It'll take to go through interview panels until we make our decision. And then if you continue passing through each stage, and they offer you, a lot of times they'll let you know if they made that decision, if they offered you. But if they're interviewing multiple candidates, they will kind of give you a good time frame on when they're looking to make their decision. And because we are local government, we don't move as fast as private sector. So it might take a month, maybe 2 months until you hear something. Depending, again, each manager works at a little bit of different pace. And then once they do the offer, if they verbally offer you, sometimes they won't tell you and they'll let you know later. Again, I have so many managers and they all have different personalities and styles. Then throughout the process, once you're in the offer stage process, it will eventually go through a couple approvals and come to me, and then I'll give you a personal phone call, myself or one of the recruiters, and we'll walk you through the whole onboarding process on how to get you started and with the county. But if you're not sure where your application status is and it's been a while, the best way to email is the best place to find out is either call or email our Ask HR email, and they can help give you a little bit more insight if that manager even started interviewing, or if they're still in the beginning stages. So that way you're like, wait, am I even in consideration? Just email us.
Elena, it's not really a question. It's just Elena from Children First is here and wanted to say thank you to Marina for the work she's doing for outreach in our community.
Thank you, Elena. That is so sweet.
So please, if anyone has other questions, you can put them in the Q&A box. I am so excited to have Marina here today and to talk about the many jobs available in Sarasota County. And I mean, it's typically your listings are over 100 positions at any given time, correct?
On and off. We are at one point we got down to 60 and I was like, wow, we're at 60, and then it went back up. So it changes so often. And again, part of it is it could be somebody left that role, it's a brand new role, or it's a person who is retiring from that role, so it's a first time open in years. So we do have a good amount. I did post it. I don't know if you guys can see my contact information or SC.gov. I think I posted it in ours. I'm not sure how to get into the everybody, but if you don't mind helping share that contact information.
Yeah. Let's see. Yes, and actually that's a little good transition, because after this webinar later today, I will email everyone who registered the recording of the webinar, as well as Marina's slides and her contact information, so that you can reach out if you have further questions, if you have ideas about the process, or if you see if you see job openings that you're interested in, etc., you'll have that information at your fingertips. So let's see. Valerie is asking if the interview process is just one interview as discussed as a possibility, will it still typically take about a month before hiring? Ballpark question, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Again, loaded question. You would think it's very easy, but I have so many managers and so many positions, and each of them has a different style. I have some that are so fast and on top of it, and they are really quick to interview, let the people know, and then we contact them usually after about a week or two after the interview, if the hiring manager made the decision. And then I have some hiring managers I have to tap on their shoulder to remind them that they have a couple of candidates to review and make their decision. I wish it was a simple answer. It's not. That's the best answer I got. I apologize.
And if I'm correct, I used to work for Manatee County, so the onboarding process is going to involve things like a drug screen and paperwork, and
not necessarily. So it's the physical is role specific. So if it's a CDL, for example, the role does require for you to have a CDL or a driving role. There's different requirements. If it's none of those roles, you probably might not even get drug tested, depends on the role specifics. We look at our employment health center, which we do in-house, looks at the job description, and from there they'll see what kind of physical they do. Part of it is we do a background check, criminal background check, as well as your driving background check. We are value transparency. So if you have anything on your background, disclose it, because it would be worse if I find something and you didn't disclose it, because then we can rescind your application, which we don't want to do. So just disclose it. It doesn't automatically disqualify you from that role just because you have something in your background. And we do case by case as well. Then we also do employment verification up to 10 years back. So we'll reach out to your professional references. We'll reach out to your prior employers. So we try to do an extensive one, because again, we serve the community, so we want to make sure we are hiring the best who will continue to represent Sarasota County government positively, as well as continue serving, giving that great value and community service to our community.
Lourdes asks if you hire teachers as well, but I believe that would be through the county schools, or no?
That would be Sarasota County Schools for a teacher position. If you're a teacher transitioning into the county, yes. But again, it depends on which role you but it is very confusing. So Sarasota County government got so big that we split. We split municipalities. So Sarasota County Sheriff is its own entity. Sarasota County School is its own entity. Sarasota County government is its own entity. And the city of Sarasota is its own entity as well. So very confusing. And it's something that I had to learn as well when I came with the county. But we're so big and we're growing, especially if you live locally in Sarasota, you will know that it has grown and it's continuing to grow.
That is so true. I think maybe one of the fastest growing areas in the country.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So if we don't have any other questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our webinar today. I want to thank Marina so much for being here, for sharing about Sarasota County government positions. And like I said, I will follow up with the email with the recording to everyone who registered. We had many registrants who were not able to come in person, but they can watch the recording asynchronously and still contact Marina for any questions. So reminder, once I close the webinar, it's going to redirect you to a brief survey. Would greatly appreciate your feedback on the presentation today, the programs, perhaps any kind of topics or speakers you might be interested in hearing from in the future, because this is a monthly series and we'll continue next month. So Marina, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. Thank you for answering everyone's questions.
Thank you for inviting us over. I love sharing about Sarasota County and the many, many opportunities, and looking forward to making some really great connections.
Yes, and we're getting lots of thank yous in the chat box as well. Wonderful. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you for coming to Career Connections.
Thank you. Bye.